accelerate faster, corner harder, brake shorter. A bold statement for any performance tire, and one made by BFGoodrich with the launch of the new GForce Sport Comp 2 Ultra High Performance Summer Tire. This second generation tire shares its tread pattern with the predecessor, but that's where the similarities end. Well, altogether, the new package points towards improved handling and performance, but how does it drive out in the real world, and how does it compare to other tires already in the marketplace? To find out, we compared the GForce Sport Comp 2 with three popular options from the category: the Bridgestone Potenza RE760 Sport, Firestone Firehawk Wide Oval Indy 500, and Yokohama S.drive. Well, first up, we're driving on the BFGoodrich GForce Sport Comp 2, and this tire drives very well with linear and direct steering response and very stable handling. The only trade-off comes as a little bit of a firm ride when hitting larger bumps, and you can hear a small amount of tread growl at speeds below 60 miles an hour. Here on the track, the GForce Sport Comp 2 is responsive and displays somewhat higher overall cornering power, but in rapid transitions it just doesn't have the poise of the Bridgestone tire. And in the wet, the Comp 2 has a clear advantage over the others, with excellent traction and a very forgiving nature. Next up, we're driving on the Bridgestone Potenza RE760 Sport, and this tire delivers the best ride and noise levels of the group, feeling solid and firm but not harsh. The initial steering response isn't quite as quick as several of the other tires, but it does handle very predictably. Here on the track and the dry, this tire feels very composed and predictable, with stable handling and just a hint of understeer at the limit. And in the wet, it's more of the same, with predictable and stable handling, making it easy to control at the limit. Well, now we're driving on the Firestone Firehawk Wide Oval Indy 500, and this tire produces minimal tread noise and is pretty comfortable when driving over rougher pavement. The handling feels competent, but it's just not quite as responsive as the other tires in our test. Here on the track, the Wide Oval Indy 500 shows it's capable enough, but it just doesn't have the balanced handling to keep up with the leaders. And in the wet, it has significantly lower overall traction than the other tires in our test. Well, finally, I'm driving on the Yokohama S.drive, and our team really likes the tight on-center feel and direct steering response of this tire. It does ride a bit more firmly than the best in the group and generates a little more tread noise along the way. Here on the track, handling is very balanced and composed, but it just doesn't have the ultimate traction to match the top two tires in our test. And in the wet, the S.drive feels quite good, with responsive steering and composed handling, but it just doesn't have the ultimate grip of the Comp 2. While sequels often don't live up to the hype or match the success of the original, in the case of the BFGoodrich GForce Sport Comp 2, the second time around is definitely better. This tire delivers plenty of sporty handling along with very good wet traction. The Bridgestone Potenza RE760 Sport provides a great blend of road manners and nimble handling. The Yokohama S.drive handles very well, but would benefit from a small improvement in ride and noise comfort. And the Firestone Firehawk Wide Oval Indy 500 provides reasonable ride and handling during everyday driving, but just doesn't have the wet traction to match the best. As we compare tires side by side, we find each has its own personality. It's not as simple as choosing between good and bad. So as you view our test results, it's important to focus on your priorities and what fits best with how, where, and what you drive. And also be sure to go to TireRack.com for our complete test report and to learn more about the tires featured in this test.